All right, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for the webinar today. Um, in this session, we are going to be talking about the different formats that are available for the Light of the World lessons. So we have made these lessons very versatile so that they can be used in low-tech environments that do not have electricity or internet, but they can also be used in high-tech situations where students do have computers or mobile devices and access to the internet. And depending on your situation, you can use these in different ways. I've been really surprised and amazed to see how different teachers are using these different materials. And I'm going to share some of those options with you so you can start to think about what will work best for you and your students. So there are basically 4 different formats we're going to talk about today. Light of the World is available through literacyinternational.net. You can go there to the resources and just type in English, and it will download. You can download the information with the link on where you can get these materials. So the first format that it's available in is slides. So it's available in PowerPoint slides. And that's one of the best ways to use it because it has audio, so you can play the songs and narrations for your students. And it also has detailed teacher's notes that you can look at while you're presenting. And it can also easily be transferred to Google Slides. So when you go to the PowerPoint, you can just click on Open with Google Slides, and then it's in Google Slides instead of PowerPoint, in case you prefer that. It's available. The second format is PDF format. So that's great for printing out on paper. And we have that available for students, the student version and the teacher's version. So the teacher's version has the teaching notes and the answers to the questions. The student's version does not. We also have videos available on YouTube. And again, you can just search Light of the World ESL and find those videos. We've got 3 different playlists right now, one for the A1 level, which is the low beginner, one for the A2 level, which is the high beginner. And then we also have a video playlist with these webinars and teaching instructions. And then finally, our latest offering is we have books. So we have paperback books available, and you can order those on Amazon in some countries. They're not available everywhere, but they're available in, I would say, about a dozen countries. So you may be able to get those as well. All right, so let me go ahead to our next slide, and I'll talk first about the slides. So the Google Slides or the PowerPoint slides are really great for online teaching. So just as right now I'm teaching this webinar online and I'm showing these slides in the background, it's a really nice way for your students to see the information presented clearly, whether they're using a mobile phone or a computer. So they're terrific for online teaching. They're also very good for projecting in a classroom. And so if you can see this picture here, if you have a classroom that's equipped with a projector and a screen or even a white wall or a sheet that you can project on, it's nice to be able to show those in the classroom because everyone can see them and they're in full color. The slides view also has detailed teacher's notes that you can view, but the students cannot see. And if you're working online with Zoom or Google Meet, you can just drag the green square around the area that you want your students to look at. They will only be able to see that, but you'll be able to see the full version with the teacher's notes and the answers. The slides can be used on mobile devices. So if your students have the Google Slides app or the PowerPoint app on their mobile devices, they can just use the lessons directly on those devices. So if some students who are very good at doing this, they prefer to use the electronic devices instead of writing in a notebook. They can actually write on the slides and put their answers in there if they use the mobile app. Once again, the PowerPoint has audio. So you can just click on the little speaker icon and that will play the audio so your students can hear it. And that can be nice so your students can hear another voice other than your voice, although I'm sure your voice is great. We like to expose our students to a variety of different voices and accents. And it's also a great way to play the songs. So every other lesson has a song. And so when you use the PowerPoint version, you can click on the audio and play those songs for your students so they can sing along. However, just so you know, if you view it in Google Slides instead of PowerPoint, you lose that audio ability. So that's one reason you may want to use PowerPoint instead of slides. You also, if you do not have Microsoft PowerPoint, you can download the PowerPoint version for free that allows you to view PowerPoint presentations. And those instructions are available in the document that we'll be looking at. It's called All About Light of the World. So when you download the lessons, you get that information. It tells you how you can download PowerPoint for free. All right, so does anybody have any questions about using slides? No? Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead to our next format, which is PDFs. So the PDF format is, you can access that in the Google Drive for teachers or for students. So let's see, if I click here, it should take me, and it did, yay. Okay, so you can see here, let me go back. So when you first go to the Light of the World Drive, you'll see just these two things: how to use Light of the World, and then the table of contents for Light of the World. And then above that are the two folders that have all of the lessons. And so if you open up the A1 Low Beginner, you'll then see up at the top, you have the choice of the printable PDFs for students and the printable PDFs for teachers. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the teacher printable PDFs, and you can see we've got several documents here, and also certificates. This is the folder where you'll find student certificates if you want to issue those for your students when they complete a unit. So this is actually, and you can see here, like this one is lessons 1 through 7. This is lessons 8 through 14. I'm not sure why these other ones don't show us a thumbnail of the cover, but they're the same thing. They just go on to different lessons. So depending which lesson you want, you'll open these books. So let's go ahead and open lessons 8 through 14, just so you can see what that looks like. So it's a teacher's book. So if you want to have it printed, you can have it printed out. It contains a teacher's guide in the beginning that tells you everything that you need to get started teaching the lessons. And then it contains all of the slides. So it shows you each slide in the lesson along with the teacher's notes for it. And you can print these out in black and white or color, whichever you prefer. We have the same thing for the students. So let me go back. The students' printables, we also have a couple of budget options. Yeah, so we have the normal options for the student printables. Here, I'll show you this one. This is, the student book looks a little bit different. Oops. Here it comes. It's just going a little slow. So the student's book has 2 slides per page. The teacher's book has 1 slide per page because we need more room for the teaching notes. So you can print these in color or black and white. We also have these printables, which if you want to save printing costs, these are 4 slides per page, black and white. And so it's less expensive. You only need half as many pages to print. The disadvantage is the students don't have as much room to write, so they may need to write their answers in a notebook if you print it out with the 4 slides per page. Okay, so these PDFs are, oops. My slides are jumping around. Hang on, let me go back here. These PDFs are great for printing a few pages. So you could do this. I know a lot of our students who work online, the students might have a printer at home or their library, and they just print out the pages that they're using that week for their lesson. So you can print a few pages or you can print out the whole book. It can also be used digitally. So the file size is a lot smaller in the PDF than it is in the PowerPoint slides. So it's easier to email it to people. It's easier if your phone doesn't have a lot of space, like my phone. It's pretty filled up right now, and I would have a hard time downloading PowerPoint slides onto it because they take up a lot of the memory on my phone. But the PDFs are so small, I can easily download those on my phone and look at them. So that's another option. The PDFs are also good for online teaching. They're also good for projecting in the classroom. They're good on mobile devices, but they don't have audio. If you print out the lessons, the students can write on the paper of the printed lessons, and a lot of students really like that. They can also do digital markup. So if they have the PDF on their phone, they can do a screenshot and then do digital markup and just write with their finger on the phone and write on those and hand them in for their homework. So another nice thing about the PDFs is they can be printed as needed. You don't have to print all 200 pages of the book. You know, you may just be doing a few pages in class today, so you can just print out those pages you need. And it can also be printed between 1 slide per page to 4 slides per page, depending what you like. So any questions about those PDF printables?
I think I may not have these PDF files. I have got the PowerPoint one, so I would like to be shared with me from you.
Yeah, so they are in the same Google Drive that has all of the PowerPoints. And if you access this presentation that we're looking at right now, the link is in your invitation. Just click on teachers or students and it'll take you directly to those PDF files.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you go to literacyinternational.net, in the resources, you can also download the PDFs. It'll give you the link to download the PDFs from there as well.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Okay, now the third way that we can use these lessons is the videos on YouTube. So if you go to YouTube, you will see the playlists for our lessons. And as I mentioned, we've got 3 playlists, one for A1, one for A2, and one for our webinars. And you can get that at YouTube Literacy International playlists. So the YouTube videos are also good for online teaching. Some of our teachers just use those directly in the classroom. They either show them on their computer or they project them in the classroom. They're great on mobile devices. If your students have internet access, they can watch these videos. And it's terrific because they're hearing the narration and the songs along with the lessons. So we often encourage students to watch the videos as homework if they do have internet access, and if it's affordable. In some places, the data is very expensive, and so make sure that your students are able to access it. Okay, and then it's also great for students who miss a class to catch up with video. So one of our teachers in London was telling me that when she does a class and students miss the class, she's able to say to them, that's okay, you can just watch the lesson on YouTube. And that way you don't have to worry about students falling too far behind. They don't get the entire benefit of being there with their teacher and classmates and interacting, but at least they see all the material that's being presented and they can listen to it. The videos can also be paused, so you don't have to play it straight through. Usually, if we're using the video, we'll pause it and give the students time to interact with it. It can be sped up. So if the students want it to be a little bit more challenging, when you go into the YouTube settings, you can select your speed and you can select slower or faster speed on those videos. Let me show you real quickly how to do that if you haven't done that before, because that's a nice way of dealing with multi-level classes. So you can see here are all of our playlists. Let's go to the A1 playlist here. So you can see we've got all 50 videos are here. And we're just going to pick one of these. Let's go to this one. Okay, so it's right here on YouTube. You're going to see the settings. If you click on the little settings button and under playback speed, right now it says normal, but if you click on that, you can slow it down to half or a quarter of the normal speed, or you can speed it up to twice the normal speed. It's really nice to be able to speed that up and make it more challenging for some of our students who are a little bit more advanced. And as I said before, all of our teaching webinars are also available there. So the YouTube resources are another nice one. Any questions on the video format? Okay, then let's go ahead to Amazon. So the latest thing that we have, and let me grab these. We now have books, actual physical books. We're so excited. There are 15 books available. And so we have the teacher's book. And the teacher's book, you can see each page has a slide with the instructions. And so this is the teacher's book. The teacher's books have 7 lessons in each of them. And because they're pretty big, they're like 200 pages, we only have 7 lessons in each book. And then the student books have 14 lessons in each book because we have more, because there's 2 slides per page, it only takes up half as many pages as a teacher's book. So these are great, whether you're doing online or in-person teaching. So you might be teaching online, but your student can order one of these books and use it at home to write in to do their homework. So while you're showing the PowerPoint on the screen, they can be following along in the paper book if they want to. So a lot of students really like to have the books that they can keep and write on. The books are available in color or in black and white. So there's obviously there's a price difference. So the color books are about $15. The black and white books are about $6. And so that's that's a very reasonable price. We're just selling it at the minimum that it costs to print them. And compared to other ESL textbooks, you'll see those often sell for $40 or $50 or more. And it's actually, at least for me, it's less expensive to purchase the books than to print them myself, because my printer charges 10 cents per page, and they're a lot less expensive on Amazon. They're also available in Kindle format. So if your students have mobile devices and they can download the free Kindle app and use it that way. I have not used the Kindle app very much, so I can't tell you too much about that, but it is another way to do it. What I would probably recommend, if students want to use it on their device, instead of paying $3 for the Kindle, they can just get them for free from the LOTW download, but whatever works best for them. As I said, they're reasonably priced. They are not available in all countries, unfortunately, but they are available. I put the countries here in the US, Canada, Japan, Australia, UK, etc. Several countries in Europe. So you can, if you're in one of those areas, you can purchase those on Amazon. In other countries, they're available in Kindle format. So like I know in Brazil, you can get it in the Kindle format, but I don't think you can get the hard copies. Any questions about the books? Okay. And then finally, you can combine formats in your teaching. So I'm going to tell you about a couple of the teachers I know and how they're using it. I have one teacher in Florida, and she has a small class with about 5 students. During the class, she shows the YouTube videos on her laptop computer. So she just actually like holds up her laptop computer to the students who are all sitting at one table, and they all look at it and they can see those videos. And she prints out 1 slide per page color handouts to give to the students, because the church that they are in allows them to use the photocopier, the color photocopier for that purpose. And she said the students really like the color handouts with 1 slide per page. So that's how she does it. Another teacher in India, so we've got a teacher in India, but she teaches online with a bunch of students in Brazil. She shows slides or PowerPoint in the online class, and then the students print their own black and white handouts to do their work on. Then they take pictures of them. They send them to the teacher via WhatsApp. So they've got a WhatsApp group where everybody submits their homework. And the students also watch the YouTube videos as homework so they can hear that narration. Another neat thing that class has done with their WhatsApp group is when the students have to memorize a Bible verse for homework, she will have them submit their video via WhatsApp of them reciting their Bible verse to check with their pronunciation, how they're doing with that. And a lot of the students will actually close their eyes as they're reciting their Bible verse to prove that they're not reading it, they're reciting it from memory. So those are some of the ways you can use the materials. And so now I'm gonna stop sharing my screen and come back to you guys. And I'd love to hear if you have any thoughts on how you are using these materials or how you plan to use these materials with your students. So, does anybody have any questions, or would you like to share how you have been using them? Pat, how about you? I know that John has been using them online. Do you know what formats he uses?
Well, I believe John is online because I haven't taught with the LOTW before.
Okay.
So, John, do you show that he's online?
Hello,
John?
No, I don't see him.
Okay. I know that he had planned to be online with us. Okay, you don't see him online.
Well, we have
yes, he is online.
That's John Loco.
Oh,
that's not
okay.
John. That's not your John.
Okay, let me ask him because I know that he's in the next room, so you can go to somebody else and then we'll get back with you.
Okay, all right, great. Let's see. Prakash, how about you?
Yeah, now I'm in connection with some Christian Myanmar team. So, and talking to my elders also in my church, and then we are planning to have sessions. But in schools, hostels, so I'm sharing the YouTube and they see, they watch it, and not in a formal way, just I'm mentoring and teaching them in with the resources to the children
Okay.
here.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. But they have access to YouTube?
Yes, yes.
All right.
I'm
Great.
doing on free of cost. I mean, I give the resources to them and they watch and they like to ask me. And even my wife is also learning. You know, she asks some confusion to me. So those who are poor in English and they have got access in Nepal. So this is great opportunity for churches, but I need to promote it in Nepal. And I'm thinking of how to do it well.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. And Kezia, how about you?
So I've been using more PowerPoint and the sounds and YouTube videos after class I send to them and in WhatsApp group
Mhm.
and recording verse in audio
Mhm.
on WhatsApp as well. And I think so, Jen.
And do the students print the lessons on paper, or do they just use a notebook paper?
One, no, maybe three of them printed, and they write down, but not everyone.
Okay,
The materials, just a few of them.
okay. All right, great. Thank you for sharing that. And Paris, how about you?
I can't bring it up on the laptop. So your picture could be there instead of mine.
Hey, Paris. Are your students using the lessons on paper or?
My students are using only the book, but I'm not using Light of the World
Okay.
because my students are Muslims,
Mm-hmm.
and I have found some of them do not want anything to do with the Bible
Right.
or the mention of God. So I changed from Light of the World and I'm using everyday English.
Okay.
Yeah, today, tomorrow, and I think yesterday.
Okay.
So we are using books, no videos, no soft copies, because the Somali community
Mhm.
are audio people. They love talking.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank.
This is me in Nairobi, Kenya, East Africa.
Okay. Thank you so much. And Jean Atto, how about you? How are you using the Light of the World lessons? Do you use the PowerPoint or do you print it out on paper for your students?
Yeah, hi Melina, hi everybody.
Hi.
Yes, we have been using the PowerPoints and we've not been able to print out all the lessons, but whenever we think the student need it, we print out the pages that we need to use.
Okay.
Yeah, that is how I've been doing it.
Okay, great. Well, wonderful. Well, thank you all so much for sharing how you're using these. And I know, and John Loco in DRC, he said his students use notebooks, copybooks, they use paper that they don't print them out. And so that's another great way you can use it, is just have students copy down in their notebooks the materials and the questions and then write the answers next to them.